Welcome. Today we're going to dive into the incredible story of one doctor's quest to find better answers for women who are navigating, all the complexities of midlife health. It's a journey that really challenged the medical norms and put the patient's own experience right at the center of it all. So let me introduce you to Dr. Brenda Smith. She's an OBGYN with over 37 years of experience, and her entire career has been dedicated to this one really powerful mission, to help and to educate women.
And this quote, it just perfectly captures her whole approach, doesn't it? It's not about achieving some kind of flawless ideal. It's about being informed, feeling supported, and finding what actually truly works for your body. It's a philosophy that's just built on empathy and, real-world results.
And that really is the central question of our explainer today. We're going to follow Dr. Smith's path as she uncovered these crucial insights that completely reshaped her practice, and honestly, the lives of thousands of women.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. What was it that drove Dr. Smith to look beyond the standard medical playbook in the first place?
Well, her journey with hormone therapy has been a long and really dedicated one. I mean, look at this timeline. She graduated back in '86 and was already exploring BHRT by the early '90s. That was way before it was mainstream. This just goes to show her deep, first-hand experience in this field. She was a pioneer.
And throughout this entire journey, from day one thing was always crystal clear: her mission. For Dr. Smith, it was always about empowering women through education, giving them the knowledge they need to actually take control of their own health. All right, let's get into the good stuff. Early in her practice, Dr. Smith ran head-on into this major conflict between what the textbooks were saying and what her patients were actually telling her they were experiencing.
So back in the 1990s, the standard therapy was a combination of Premarin and Provera. All the pharmaceutical research said it was the gold standard. But Dr. Smith was hearing a totally different story in her office. Women were coming in reporting all these side effects and just weren't feeling better. This massive disconnect was the spark for everything that came next.
So she started digging into the why and found a major problem with how the hormones were delivered. See, when you swallow a hormone pill, it goes through what's called the first-pass effect. Basically, it goes straight to your liver, and the liver acts like a filter, metabolizing it, changing its chemical shape before it even has a chance to work. This not only puts a strain on the liver, but can create byproducts that cause all those unwanted side effects. And this new understanding led her to a breakthrough that would completely redefine her entire approach to hormone therapy. It was a real game changer. The solution started with this concept right here: bioidentical hormones. Now, unlike the synthetic hormones, or hormones derived from animals that were in standard therapy, bioidentical hormones are, molecularly identical to what our bodies produce naturally.
And Dr. Smith has this absolutely perfect analogy to explain it. She says our body's hormone receptors are like locks. Bioidentical hormones, they're the perfect key. They fit exactly as nature intended, triggering the right response. But non-bioidentical hormones, they're like a misshapen key. They might jam the lock or not work at all, and that's what leads to all those side effects her patients were reporting.
So this is where it all just clicked into place. Dr. Smith realized if she could combine the right key, the bioidentical hormone, with the delivery system that bypassed the liver's first-pass effect, like using a transdermal cream, she could offer a much safer and much more effective solution for women. But you know how it is. You solve one problem and another one pops up. Now that she was using creams, how could she accurately measure hormone levels to make sure the dosage was just right?
And this was a genuine puzzle. Her patients would come in and report symptoms that suggested they had too much hormone. She could even see physical evidence, like increased breast density. But then, she'd order the traditional blood tests, and the results would come back showing low hormone levels. It was a total contradiction that just didn't make any sense.
The answer, it turned out, was in the difference between blood and saliva testing. See, blood tests measure hormones that are attached to carrier proteins, but the hormones from a cream are free, and because they're basically fatty molecules in watery blood, they quickly leave the bloodstream and go into our tissues where they do their work. Saliva, on the other hand, actually reflects the hormone levels in the tissues, so it measures the active, free hormones. The moment she switched, the lab results finally matched what her patients have been telling her all along. And this right here, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Through all that clinical confusion, she trusted what her patients were experiencing in their own bodies. She listened, and that's what ultimately led her to the right answer.
All right, so let's move to the final piece of her holistic approach. Because Dr. Smith knew that simply adding hormones back into the system, well, that wasn't the whole story.
For Dr. Smith, hormone therapy was a powerful tool, no doubt, but she emphasized that to get to true wellness, it had to be combined with an optimized diet and a healthy lifestyle. True balance required looking at the whole person.
And here's why that's so critical. It's not just about what you put in your body. It's about what your body does with it. For you to have a healthy balance, your body has to be able to efficiently metabolize and clear out those hormones after they've done their job. If that whole elimination pathway is sluggish, hormones can build up to unhealthy levels.
So this is where she brought in some targeted support. She identified specific supplements that could help the body's natural detoxification pathways work a lot more efficiently, making sure those hormones were being used and then eliminated properly.
In her own practice, she had these key formulas she called her helpers. For instance, she used supplements like Cymogen Xenoprotex to help her patients' bodies better manage their hormone metabolism. This created a truly comprehensive approach, right alongside the BHRT and lifestyle changes.
And really, Dr. Smith's whole journey leaves us with this one powerful question to ask ourselves. It shifts the focus from just replacing what's lost to actively supporting our body's own innate wisdom. It's a fantastic reminder that true wellness really comes from listening to our bodies and giving them the holistic support they need to thrive.